Hello, hello, my loves, and welcome to EQ with Jah. So, today's message is all about faith. I heard a saying that I thought was really cool, and it's like faith is a muscle that gets stronger with use. Now, something about faith is you have to, as a functioning cognitive, whatever you want to call it, alert being, specimen, human consciousness, you have to have faith that whatever you can't see, you believe. This is why faith is so strong in believers of a lot of religions and believers of a lot of philosophies of life, because even though man is not able to provide an answer, faith is something that you feel. Sometimes when I meet people and individuals in life and I start talking to them, you start getting an idea or inkling of their energy. You start kind of feeling like, this person, I don't know, they seem a little off. Like they might be the nicest person, but at the same time, they believe in nothing. And that's one of those moments of like, well, I'm happy that you're a happy person, but believing in nothing tells me that you don't trust in yourself. And not trusting in yourself, to me, emits an energy of you don't know what you want out of life. You don't know who you are without needing some type of tangible proof that you are right. And in this moment of the ego, of the humanistic ego, you really have to wake yourself up and say, who the hell do I think I am that I need proof that I exist? You know what I mean? That's like waking up and saying, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in science. I don't believe in this. But yet you're speaking, you're using a language that has been taught to us that is just the sound and a vibration of air coming through our throat chakra that is supposed to have contextual information or some type of consistency in thought that makes it communication between me and you. That right there is belief itself. To have faith that what you say is going to land and reside where it needs to. That's very important when you're communicating with people, especially those who believe they only live in logic. I have been a firm believer in this, I'm a logical thinker. That is fine, but you're still an emotional being. And to be an emotional being means you trust the faith of what your body is telling you. Again, we as humans, when you say you're a logical thinker, that means you only want to believe what you can read, see, touch, or taste. Even if your own thoughts in your head are telling you, nope, this is not the answer. Well, let me go get someone else's answer. Let me go get someone else's faith to double down on my trust so that I can believe this is real. This is what we do to ourselves. Again, depression, anxiety, these are all things I suffered from at one point in my life. Dark thoughts that we call dark thoughts when it comes to life in essence and being here in this world. Everyone has these thoughts, or why am I here? I don't want to be here. This is all past our thought at some point in our life. And if it hasn't, that's okay. It's not something that's good or bad. It's just a thought of existence and understanding who we are and the interpretation of trusting that the universe has our back. Again, I always find it so fascinating that humans do not provide food for you. Nature does. Nature is what gives you everything you eat, drink, touch, wear, everything. Humans cultivate it. Humans nurture it. Humans grow it. Humans can plant something, reproduce it, but humans are not creating anything from this earth that the earth cannot give to us in a nutrient sourced way. We as humans can take sources and and come up with our new form of sources. When we put vitamins or fortified things into them, yeah, that's a man-made replica of nature that gives you natural vitamins from the fruits and vegetables that you naturally eat that come from the earth. Now, when you eat, do you stop and say, this food isn't real? No. You trust when your stomach says, I'm hungry, I need to eat. You listen to that part of your body and you fulfill that need. Why would we do the same thing when it comes to our heart's wants? Why would we do the same thing when it comes to our free will choices? Why would we not believe and trust that whatever faith we put energy into will be true of ourselves? Remember, faith It's not just believing in God, because God already exists within you to even have the notion of being alive. But faith is also understanding and trusting that what I don't know, I don't know. And I trust that when I learn it, I'll learn it. That's faith. What you know, and you say, well, I know this and I know that. Okay, well, you have faith in your intelligence. You have faith in your smarts. That is the moment of really understanding. I trust wholeheartedly, without having anything in front of me tangibly, that this is real. The universe is a living organism. The earth is a living organism. We are living organisms. Every ever animal, every rock, every stick, everything is a living organism. May you believe it or not, doesn't stop its existence. Faith is knowing that if I sit back and I fall, will I hurt myself? I don't know. Every time you fall, don't mean you'll hurt yourself. But usually when you fall, you hurt yourself. You have to have faith in yourself that, well, if I fall, am I falling on the correct way? Am I falling in a way that I was unexpected? You can't control what's going to happen on impact. Even if you trust so much that you think you know and you don't believe this or that, the falling is the faith. The trusting is that you'll be caught. If you don't trust you'll be caught, well, then guess what? Guess what will catch you? Fear, death, anything that you feel is going to happen can happen. I'm not saying subjectively if something actually happens and you fall on a hard surface that you won't hurt yourself. What I'm saying is that when you fall, you have to have faith that you will not break. This is the emotional intelligence stepping in. When you fall emotionally, when you fall financially, when you fall physically, when you fall in your mind of knowing and you fail and you try to answer a question that you think you had the answer to and you didn't have the answer to it, that's okay. Faith is sitting within yourself and saying, every single day I'm going to practice the knowing of trusting. Knowing you trust something is what gives us beliefs. You understand? A belief is a known trust. I believe this is happening because this happened to them, and because I love them, trust them, whatever, all these outside factors. That's my trust. But what happens when you have no example of an outside factor? Haha, this is where faith comes in. Faith is knowing based on my emotional resonance, based on my emotional cultivation, based on my emotional understanding, what I've been through, where I've been, how I got here are the tools to utilize to teach me the next step in my wisdom and my assertion and my evolution. And that is the faith. Once you step into the spiritual journey, I've told this in many different videos before, there is no going back. There's times when I wake up like, I wish I could turn off how I channel, but not anymore. It's because it gets overwhelming. There's things that come in nonstop. 1 minute I'm sitting here doing absolutely nothing. I get an idea for a video. Then I get an idea for a blog. Then I get an idea for my website. Then I get an idea for something else. All at once. And I have to find a way to trust that I know what to do with this information. But because I have faith in a higher being, because I have faith in the universe, because I have faith in what I call my consciousness is God, then I know that whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm putting out there, it's going to touch, hit, be near, whatever, to the person, the thing, or energies that need it. Faith is what keeps us living. When you stop having faith, you stop living. I don't mean your actual breath. I mean the things that give you life, the things that light you up. Do you understand that if you're not sitting within yourself enough and trusting what you feel, you're not faithful. You have to trust what you feel. When I get anxiety, guess what's happening? I'm not trusting what I'm feeling. So for me, I have to step back and listen to my body. Why is my heart pulsating like this? Why is my mind racing every time I walk into this scenario or situation? Let me stop and listen. I have faith that my heart is going to tell me the truth. And it always does. Because remember, every time your brain thinks, it's just a byproduct of the blood pulsating through your heart, which is that inner child living. Remember, this was born first, not this. There's no proof of the brain being developed first. There's proof of the heart being developed first. And then everything grows from that and grows around it because the heart, it trusts that the universe knows what to do. And it grows exponentially every day. We go from an infant to a child to a teenager to a young adult to an older person, and then we perish. That's the cycle of life. Our ego knows what to do. It trusts this cycle, which is why when we age and we start feeling aches and pains, it's like, hey, maybe you should work out. Maybe you should drink more water. Maybe you should trust what I'm telling you. Because when you trust me, then you will have faith. And when your soul says, I don't agree with the mind, because the mind's going to tell you anything you want to hear. As long as you're okay with feeling it to comfort you in that moment, the mind will tell you whatever you need to hear. And so my faith comes in how I feel. I understand that conditionally how people feel can be misconstrued by what they think. But when you start to listen to how you feel while you're thinking, you provide answers to those uncertain emotions. And when you don't have an answer to an uncertain emotion, then it can manifest into anything you want it to become, because this is the purpose of life in the human existence as a vessel. So we have to step back and start really paying attention to, I am a muscle. This whole body is a muscle. In order to talk, I have to use muscles. In order to move my eyes, they're muscles. In order to use my brain, it's a muscle, right? That is the point of faith. I have to use it every day for it to be strong. I have to use it in a way that's going to preserve it for it to live on. And if I don't, then it's going to fall to the wayside and I will become subjective to other people's understanding and conditioning. But if I stay within myself, then I am always objective, and a place of empathy versus sympathy that keeps me stuck in my own conditioning. This is why it's so important to have faith in yourself. Have faith that you know what to do. Have faith that you know what to say. Have faith that you know what makes you happy will make you happy. Happiness is a state of being when you know that you've done the work and you're calm and you have no expectations or explanations for anything in your life because you know that you've done the work. That's happiness. You understand? Again, I put up a video where he was saying, if you want to have an easy life, go for it. Make easy choices. But eventually, when you get older, all those easy choices will lead to whatever byproduct or replication you created in your not trusting that God knew what to do for you. You just wanted to make a shortcut. And now guess what? You're going to have to relive everything that you cut through. Everything you stepped on, crushed, killed, took its life without permission, you will have to answer for. This is how the universe works. This is how law of attraction works. This is how law of motion works. This is how law of polarity, duality, all of them represent something that is our consciousness, which is the faith inside of itself, knowing it knows what to do. It has the answers to what it needs. I know 2020 has put us through the ringer, but if anything, it's taught us how to trust our sense of understanding, our sense of loyalty, our sense of love, our sense of taking care of the body the way it's meant to be taken care of. You really do only get one. We don't remember our consciousness after this body passes, and that's just part of this whole cycle of life, because to tell something that it was like something before, it might just repeat the same habits over and over again. But that's what conditioning is. This is why it's important to condition our next offspring and our generations in faith, because then when they start to grow and make lessons in life and things of this nature, they're not going to fall and crumble and crack and think that this is whack. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, wow, I actually have a purpose. And even though I fail, and even though I did hurt myself that time I fell, now I have that information to put into my reservoir of library or whatever of information that I know will add to my faith. That's how you get faith stronger. Trusting that when something happens to you, it's not happening to you, the avatar. It's happening to your soul. And your soul has to take that information back to spirit and ancestors and remember who they are. And when you remember who you are, you will never forget the faith that God put inside of you. God knows what you're meant for. You know what you're meant for, but you have to trust the unknown. And trusting the unknown is knowing that whatever you believe means nothing. A belief is a choice. It's not written in stone. So trust is learning how to sit with things that you might not understand, but faith is knowing that there's power behind the unknown, and all you can do is sit back and let God give it to you. All right? Keep flexing that muscle, y'all. I love you as always. Check me out on all my social media platforms, on my websites, all this stuff that I do. As always, I love you. I love you. I love you. Besos. Mwah.